Hey guys, join me on this job. Had just about everything go wrong. I've had hair in it, got to run, and I've managed to miss the bust through, which we're going to blow in now. Joining me on this journey of sorting this one out. Thanks. Just got a small bust through here, so I'm just going to put some Glazerite spot primer on there in the correct grey shade. And I use the correct one on the spray out card as well, that way we know next time. Job BMW A29, we've got the full side, and I'm using my Wacom 360 Carbonio HTE base with a 1.3. My fluid is pretty much all the way out. I'm going to be running 29 psi, which is roughly 2 bar. And you can see the dark spot of primer. I'm just going to go over that slightly wetter because it is darker. And the key with any water-based paint is air movement. So having one of these Wacom fan jets is fantastic. Just helps get the panel dry nice and quick. And you might be wondering why I've gone so far with the blend. This is a pour previous. It's all stood up around here, and the front wings got quite a few bust throughs towards the front, so I'm just going to do most of the car. sun flash off now because it's a wetter coat. Get it dried up with the blowers at 50 degrees for 10 minutes. Okay guys, you can see here I've just got a little hair in the silver. Let me get myself plugged in so I don't steam up on you, but on myself. Need to see what I'm doing. Yeah, there's like a small hair. I just tried to tack it out, but it's not playing. So what I'm going to do is come in some P800. If you can see that, P800, just on a soft pad. I'm going to give it a little tickle. I don't know if you see it there, a lot of it just wiggled out, just came out of the, because it's kind of on the surface. It was stuck though. And the key with this is to be soft, be gentle. It looks slightly more aggressive than it is being an 800. So just move these out of the way. A blower, tack rag. Jesus. I want to give this area a really good tack. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop my pressure to 1.5 bar. I'm not sure what that would be in PSI, maybe 20, something like that, 22, even 18, I'm not sure in PSI. I have to put my digital one on. And I'm just coming in real light. And that's probably it for that. I'm just going to crank the pressure up on the gun and dry it. And then I'm going to give it a slightly wetter coat, a little bit further. And the thing is, with little scratches like this, you don't want to be piling it on, trying to cover your scratch marks. Nice light coat. And as you can see, I've gone back up to 2 bar. I'm just going to pop it in. Slightly wetter, slightly further. Turn the air pressure up again on the gun. Get this dried out, and you can see, you know, I've taken care of it now. There's no hair, there's no mark, and that generally will apply to any, you know, if you've got a bit of dirt or any nibs that you need to take out of your base coat. Just slow right down. Make sure the panel's dry. Make sure it's had a really good splash. You don't want to be, you know, the surface is dry and you don't want to be cutting into it with your paper, your sandpaper. There's a good chance that you'll tear it. So I'm happy with that now. What we're going to do now is drop coat it and then lacquer it. Make sure your pressure's back down though before you start. Back down to 2 bar. And I'm going to go slightly further away. Just give it a nice even coat. You see, I'm not really flicking too much. I don't want to be flicking the base coat. This metallic is quite coarse. It's not the coarsest, but you don't want to be flicking the metallics. You see guys, sometimes they'll do this. All you're doing is throwing material down there. By the time it hits the panel over here, it'll be dry. We don't want that. You'll end up with like sand piling it. It'll stand up on you. Beautiful. thing I like to do when I'm checking if I've got a nice blend, if you look how much base is there and just look at how it fades out into nothing. So, you know, I could have done this whole bit thinking of it, you know, the light comes up to here. Yes, there is a possibility with the bonnet edge, but it's quite angled, so you'll get away with a little bit there. Just have a final check over now to make sure that we're not missing any bust throughs. Might do a bit more on the top of this door. You know, this is the time now to check everything and make sure you're happy. Once you've got the clear on, there's not a lot you can do. But no, that's good for me. So I'll go mix the lacquer. We've got some new stuff, so this will be interesting. Show you a new technique with a new product. And I'll go mix it up and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I'm using Glazuret's 610 lacquer, the 63 hardener, which is normal, and the 30 thinner, which is a normal speed thinner. I will put I'll put it up on the screen there so you can see what I am using. And it's well, it's new to us anyway. A new lacquer. It's fast. And this is how I set my gun up. I'm using the Wacom HTE Clear 360 Carbonio 1.2. I've wound my needle all the way in. I'm going to wind it out where the one is. I'm going to go 4 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go a half because it's a 3 to 1 to 1, which is 3 to 1 and 30% thinner. It's quite thick, but it's fast. So let's get into it. It's almost a one hit for this. I suppose it's like a grip and rip, this lacquer. I'll do another video when it comes to this. Is a bigger job and it's quite warm out today. But we have the fast hardener, the fast lacquer, and the racing additive thinner. Oh boy, that stuff goes off fast. But I really do like this product. So easy to use. Like I say, we're a fast-paced shop, so anything that can speed us up is a bonus. And also, it bakes in 15 minutes. The faster one. This slightly slower one because I've modified it with the thinner and the hardener. This is a 20-minute bake at 72 degrees. And then that's it. It's ready to rock and roll now. I'm going to come in slightly closer than normal, maybe 4 inches. Just watching my overlap now. What's an over? Why not? And all I'm doing now is I'm trying to look where it's, the first coat's already started to dry off and go into the second. Oh, would you look at that? Nice bust through. So I'll be blowing that in after. I'll probably keep it in. I mean, up here you can't even see that. Then you come down on the angle and you can just see it. That's not good. To get my spray out. Now I'm just going to get down and check. I want to make sure there's plenty on there for the polishers. Could move a little more up here. And this stuff is really quick, you've got to be on it really. It's going to set up on you quite fast. And that's it. I guess we'll be back momentarily after this is dried, and we'll touch that in, which is a shame because it's come out quite nice. Right, so I'll be back. Okay, so we're back in, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cool this panel down with my wind jet. Just come off a fake, and I've managed, if you can pick that up there, yeah, it's all running here. I'm going to sort this buster out. I'm just going to try and cool this down as much as possible. Before we get into it, I'm going to have to take that run down. Had just about everything go wrong in this one. Not every job goes to plan. But all I'm going to do, I'll explain now. I'm going to mask that off, blow that in, re-lacquer the front wing, as long as I don't burn through it. I shouldn't do, just a little one. So, let me get my gear. Here we go guys, come back in. I'm going to sort this wing out now with the bust through. It's not ideal. And also I've managed to get, I don't know if you can see under there, a very small run. So what I'm going to do is repair this wing now while it's in here. Still got the paint in the gun. I'm not going to have to send it out and then bring it back. You know, let it go through the process again. Take that edge off. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to bag up this bit, blow that in, and re-clear the whole wing. Take that as well. Oh, I forgot my water. Always forget something. Say my water, I've stole it all off the polishers. They're out there teasing me, oh have you got a run? But it's all in good faith. Have a little joke. You just start to see this little run here. I'm just using 800 Merca on a block and some water. I'm just being real gentle with it because it is fresh. Just gliding over it nice, making sure the block's flat. Some more water on there. One thing I didn't mention is I made sure that this panel was cool before I started. Obviously it came off a bake. It came off a bake, so we don't want to be jumping on it while the panel's still hot. Cause more damage than it's worth. I think that's one big thing in the paint game. When it goes wrong, just take a little bit of time. Don't start panicking. What I'm looking to do is take that edge away. And then I'm going to come in with something that's not as aggressive. Jump down to 15. You start to see there what it's trying out. You can just still see the edge of the run. And it's important to get this out now before I clear. Obviously I could clear over it, but then, you know, when they come to polish it outside, it's still going to be a run underneath more clear, so they'll end up burning through the new lacquer trying to get to the run underneath, and then we'll paint it again. So just take your time, do it right first time. Try and tickle this edge, but this does give me the opportunity now. I'll use the fast lacquer on this wing, and we'll see, you know, the difference between the two. Tickle this edge now. If I'm too close there. That is one of the things with this camera, I can't see what it's recording. Just gonna come in, keeping my thumb flat there. Go on to some 1500. That a real good wash, because I threw it on the floor for some reason rather than on the bonnet. Now you can see that run's gone, so all I'm trying to do now is take away the 800 scratches. Using a D1500 now. I was going to do a video on runs. I never thought I'd do it in the booth though. Never mind, needs must. Lovely. Dry off some of that water. So then we don't want water trapped under the bag either, because you'll get bag rash.
but you will also get bag rash because the paint is so fresh. You'll see later on when I'm going to bag that, and when that's done and ready for clear, I'll unmask it. Right, grey scotch. I'm only going to be very, very light with the grey scotch because it's fresh. See that disappears now. You can barely see it, which is why I missed it. I did say with the headlight being there, I should have went to the end. But playing Monday morning quarterback, you know, everyone's a world champion in hindsight. I'm just going to come in real light. Go. So I'm just going to water. This is water-based solvent. Water-based solvent? It's not a thing. Water-based degreaser. And nobody's touched this. Obviously it's been in here. No one comes in the booth when we're not here. Or at least they shouldn't. So because this has been done before, there's no need to go over it with the solvent. I was just checking there that I don't need to blow any base over that area, which is fine. Right, get this bag on while I remember. I was about to get trigger happy there and start painting. I'm just lightly tacking this on, there's no need to go crazy with it. And I've put it on inside out. And the difference is, it being inside out, is one side is treated of the bagging, and one side isn't, and when it's treated this overspray sticks to it. As you can see, I've got this one round the right way. What it does, the treatment on the plastic from normal plastic, is it actually holds the overspray, whereas if you use some like cheap plastic or, you know, your general home use you would get from a DIY shop, because it's not treated, any overspray that's on that will just come off. It'll end up in your work, which is not what you want. I might have to get some t-shirts made up that say, is there anything worse? I seem to say that a lot as well. Is there anything worse than redoing jobs? I wonder how you guys feel about this job. Is it my fault that I didn't see it, or is it the prepper's fault for not notifying me? Or leaving some tape on there to say, look, I've bust through here, buddy, I'm sorry. I wonder if you guys out there who sees it that way. So leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Was this my fault for not checking? I mean, look, you can't even see it now. Is it my fault for not checking? Or is it somebody else's fault for not telling me? Right, I am going to lower my pressure to 1.5 bar. Still got the same paint in there. I didn't bother to clean the gun out. I'm just going to come back in real light. trying to get ahead of myself here, which I shouldn't. I'm telling you to relax, don't worry about it. Nice little hair. Beautiful. I'll go 2 bar now. Pop this back in. Just using the air pressure on the gun, just turn it up. Just to dry it. And I'll just do a nice drop now. And just go further. I mean, there's no reason for me to go all the way because it's the same colour that's already on there. And I'm using as much space as possible. I know guys like to keep things small, but you've got the room, use it. Right, so I'll go mix my lacquer up. I'll give that a minute to set up. I'll get my lacquer, I'll clean all this mess up. I'm sure it's not that nice to look at, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so I've got the 610 fast clear, the 61 fast hardener, and the racing additive for the lacquer. Oh, that's way too much. Too busy talking. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Right, this is all drying out, and this is how we apply this clear. Nice and close. This is like the reverse of a grip and rip. This is a rip and grip. This is this paint. And wet a coat across the top, and then top it up, is how it was described to me, on the way back down. And that is it. 15 minutes at 72 degrees. Beautiful. Now, like I said, I'm just going to unmask this because I don't want, well, you can see it's already trying to give me some bag rash, some masking marks. They'll come out with the buff. They'll probably come out with the heat, to be honest. Oh, knocked my gun on the floor. Right, so that's that now. We're done again for the second time today. You can see that lacquer's not through that out in any way. So I'll just bake this now, and we'll be done. Hopefully this is the last time I see this one. The new lacquer and the old lacquer, you see there's that mark that'll come out. So thanks for joining me on this adventure. It's been a journey, a long one. Everything that could go wrong, hairs in it, runs in it, missed bits, but we finished the job and this will go out. So thanks for joining me.